In today's video, we are going to talk about how to explain gaps in employment during your job interview. Hi Ninja! Welcome back to my channel. This is Rhea once again and you're still watching Call Center Ninja. In this channel, we're all about call center tips, career, lifestyle, so that you can begin, enjoy, and survive and maintain your sanity in the corporate world. But first of all, of course, you would want to know why a gap in employment is bad. A gap in employment can be both good and bad. But for most employers, this is bad because this might raise a red flag and they might be asking, what have you been doing during that time that you don't have a job or you are not employed? Perhaps for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or maybe 10 years. So of course, your employer want to know if you have been productive for those years that you were not doing anything or for those years that you were not employed. They will likely not hire you if you have not acquired the right skills that are fit for the job that they are looking for, especially in the call center industry. Of course, there are so many reasons or factors that might have contributed to your gaps in employment. The first one, possible reason, is that it's voluntary. It's just that you need to have a time off or a break from the corporate world or from being employed. If that is your reason, then you have to find a way to explain it in a manner that sounds positive and that sounds like you are really taking the time off because you want to make yourself better in the process, and not just because you want to slack off or you're just lazy, that's why you're taking a time off or a break from your career or from the corporate world. And although that may be true, because it is for most of us, right? Sometimes you get tired and you can't afford to take a break or to take a gap in your career, in your employment, then why not? But when you're being asked for the reason that you have not worked for a certain period of time, then of course you have to let your interviewer know that you have taken a break in your employment because it is something that you really choose or chose to do. But then again, you always have to make sure that you explain it in a way that makes you sound like you are really doing it for yourself and you're doing it so that you will become a better individual or so that you will be ready to face the corporate world once again. Also, try to make sure that you explain to your interviewer that within that period of time, you have done things that can make yourself better or that can improve your skills, that you can contribute to the company you are applying for. So for example, that you did not go to work or you did not have a job, perhaps you did a volunteer work, you traveled to different places or different countries to maybe teach children in local or rural villages, or you did something meaningful and relevant. You can say something like, for 1 year I was not able to work because there was an opportunity to take a course which is photography, and that is actually one of my hobbies, and I was given a scholarship so I took it, but it was completely over now and I am already very ready to take on a corporate job in your company if I'm given the chance to work here. So something like that. You are explaining why you took a break for 1 year. It is direct to the point, but also you want to let your interviewer know that that was already over and that you are already ready to take on a corporate job, because they might think that, okay, what if you're offered another scholarship again? What if you will leave us after 1 month because you were offered another scholarship? So, things like those. And it's quite understandable because it costs money to hire someone, and of course companies would want you to stay with them longer if you get hired. The second reason is that you were probably dealing with an issue in your life. For example, maybe you had a sick family member or relative that you need to take care of, probably death in the family, probably anything that has made life difficult for you and did not let you or did not allow you to go to work because it was just not possible at the moment. It is definitely understandable if that's the case. All you need to do is just explain it properly to the interviewer. So for example, one of your family members got sick, and let's just say you were the one who were capable of taking care of that sick relative or family member. So you can say something like, for 1 year I was not able to go to work because my uncle who took care of me when I was young and who is my legal guardian got sick. And I was the only one who could take care of him, so I took the liberty to take care of him, which did not allow me to go to work anymore during that time because he really needed me to be at his side. But rest assured that we have already found a caretaker for my uncle who can take care of him now that I'm ready to take on another job or another corporate responsibility. I'm sure that this will no longer affect my job because we have already found someone who can take care of him. So if you notice, I always go back to that part wherein I said that that is no longer going to be an issue because we have already found, or you have already found, a caretaker for that particular relative or family member. The third reason is you were laid off. So when you're laid off, of course, you pretty much don't have any control of it, probably because your previous company just downsized or right-sized, and it just so happens that you were part of those people who were let go from the company. If you explain it in such a way that it is not your fault or it is not performance issue, then there should be no problem at all. And at that point, if you were actually laid off, you have to prepare strong evidence that it was not about your performance. So perhaps you can get recommendations from your previous supervisor or your colleagues who can prove that you are actually a good employee or you are a performer in the company, right? Most likely they will ask character references from you, so let them know that your previous supervisors and colleagues are willing to provide recommendations in case the interviewer or the company needs it. So you can say something like, for 5 months, I was not able to work because I was laid off from my previous company, but it has nothing to do with my performance. In fact, I have my previous supervisors and my colleagues who can attest to my good behavior in the company as well as my good performance. And I have also attached it on my resume in case you need recommendations from them. Another thing that I'd like to add, let's just say you were laid off and you were looking for a job for, let's say, 5 months now or even 1 year now, and you did not get a single interview, or you were just not hired at all, no matter how hard you try. Then you have to make sure that when you explain that to your interviewer, that it sounds positive and that you were not just job hunting and you weren't given or you weren't scheduled a single interview. So you have to let your interviewer feel that you are taking your time and looking for the right company that is fit for your kind of lifestyle or fit for whatever you need at the moment. So don't say that, okay, I did not have work for 5 months because I was looking for a job but nobody would hire me. Of course, that is definitely a deal breaker because your interviewer will think that, what is wrong with you? Why can't you get a job right away, right? So tell your interviewer that you are looking for the right company that you think is fit for you. So you can say something like, when I was laid off, after a few weeks, I looked for a job immediately, but I made sure to take my time because I wanted to do a good research first, and I wanted to make sure that the company that I'd be applying for is really fit for what I need or what my skills are or what my competence is at the moment. So those are the 3 main reasons as to why you will have a gap in your employment. Again, voluntary, you're dealing with an issue, or you were laid off. But if there's any reason that I haven't mentioned or discussed in this video, then just think of the format or the way you will answer that question. Again, make sure that you provide a specific example and let your interviewer know that the issue, whatever issue that is, has been resolved and that you are already prepared and ready to take on a brand new job in their company. Now, here are just a few tips that you may want to follow if you are in that season in your life wherein you're taking a break from your career or from the corporate world. Number one, always maintain your contacts or your network. Say you have worked previously in a hotel or in a restaurant, then always make sure to keep in contact with them and still maintain your relationships with them so that when the time comes that you need character references for your new job, you can always rely on those people. In every workplace, you'd always have some people you can trust, hopefully, and those people will definitely be able to help you in case you are already prepared to get another job or another employment. Second is study a new skill or engage yourself in new activities. If you have not been working for 1 year or more than that, you have got to do something with your life that can improve your skills, your competence in the workplace, and that can add to your portfolio just in case you decide to go back to the corporate world once again, just so you are not stagnant, and when your interviewer asks you what you've been doing for the time that you were away, at least you have something to tell them that you were studying this skill or you were making yourself better in this particular hobby and that it taught you how to be disciplined and more professional, and now you are ready more than ever. Number three is find something valuable and meaningful to do with your life. So aside from learning a skill or doing new activities, maybe you want to pursue a small business, you want to help with your family business, or anything that can add value to yourself as an individual and can add value to yourself for when you are already ready to apply for a brand new job. And just one last tip, an additional tip when you are creating or writing your resume and you have a gap in your employment, make sure that on your work experiences or work history, you add the things that you have done while you are not working in the corporate world or the office. So even though you are not really employed by a certain company, those things are still considered work experiences. Let's just say you were interning or you were helping out with your family business or helping out in charity work or volunteer work. Make sure to add those things on your resume so that your interviewer will see it and will know that indeed you are telling him or her the right thing, or you are giving the correct information. And make sure to take note of the dates, the year, so that it will even be more realistic and it won't sound like you're just making something up just for the sake of answering the questions. So that's about it for today's video. Hope you've learned something, and if you have other reasons in mind, why someone or you would actually take a break or a time off from your career or employment, then comment below and we will see. We'll find out if we can give you possible answers or possible solutions to your issues or your questions. And as usual, if you like this content, please like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you again on my next videos. Take care and bye.